Hi, everyone. I'm Carly.
And I'm Sophia.
And this is Away She Goes, a podcast from girls who travel.
Each episode will help you feed your wanderlust with travel tips, stories, inspiration, and more. Away she goes.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Away She Goes. Today, we are going to be introducing the next installment in our how-to series that we've recently started. And in this episode, Sophia and I are going to talk to you about how to survive a long-haul flight. So, what is a long-haul flight? Let's define. A long-haul flight typically refers to a flight that lasts longer than 6 hours. So you may think, oh, that's pretty short. It doesn't feel short when you're up there, believe me. The longest flight in the world currently, there's a few that are kind of right up around the same amount of time, but currently the world record goes to Singapore Airlines. They have a direct flight from New York City to Singapore and vice versa. That flight, depending on what direction you're going and the jet stream and all that, ranges anywhere from like 17 and a half to 18 and a half or 19 hours nonstop in the air. So you're almost in the air for a full day.
Big oof.
Yeah. I haven't done that one yet.
Yeah. So why would you even book them in the first place is the question to start with. Well, not only are they more convenient because you don't have a layover, where then if you like have luggage that's not just a carry-on, then the chances of your luggage getting lost are not as high on a long-haul flight because it just goes in one plane and then leaves out the plane with you, kind of. It's sometimes cheaper, and depending on where you're coming or going from, it may also just be the only option. But also, a really weird thing, it's better for the environment. It sounds odd, but bear with me, because airplanes burn most fuel during takeoff and landing. Well, mostly. Like it's usually combined as one thing, but takeoff probably.
It's takeoff. Yeah.
It's takeoff. So then the cruising doesn't make as much of a difference. So rather than taking like 2-3 hour flights, a 6-hour flight will not have half the emissions, but like 75 or 60% or something like that.
Because you're not having multiple takeoffs, basically.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
Okay.
So it's better in that regard.
Interesting. All right. So personally, like I said, I have not done the New York Singapore route yet, but I've gotten close. The two longest flights that I have ever been on, flying home from Vietnam, that was 2 long haul flights in a row. But the longest one was from Doha, Qatar, back to New York City. That was about 15 hours nonstop.
Yikes.
Yep. And then in October, when I flew to Africa to go on the Girls Who Travel safari trip, my first flight was from New York City to Nairobi, Kenya, and that was about 14 and a half hours. So those two have been my longest.
Wow. I can't really compete with that because I've never really been on a long haul flight. Like my longest flight was like 3 hours from like Germany to Portugal or Germany to Greece. I've been on long haul trains.
Yeah. It's
like,
similar. I feel like
that took
trains are a little
really
more
long.
comfortable.
Yeah, you can like
Have a
move
bed.
more, kind of.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, in my last one I didn't have a bed because I did a 12 and a half hours with one layover. So like 3.5 and then 7.5, I think.
Okay.
Plus a bit of time in between. From northern Germany to the south of France.
All right. So, Sophia, why don't you tell us what are some tips for staying comfortable for that length of time?
Yeah. And that's something I can relate to because it's very similar for like flights and trains.
And trains, yep.
So it really depends on the kind of ticket you book. Are you booking first class, business class, premium economy, basic economy? Like all these classes vary from one company to the next. But in the end, whatever first, like the more you pay, usually the more comfort you'll have. Maybe it'll come with a bigger seat, a seat that reclines better, or maybe even a bed if you're really that fancy and have that much money. If so, we should really open a Patreon for a podcast.
Yeah, if so,
You
help
can
Carly and Sophia experience Emirates first class.
Yes, exactly. Put up a GoFundMe. Link in
Yeah.
episode description.
Link in bio. A lot of you have been asking how you can help us fly first.
Exactly. Yeah, so look into that because it'll depend on the airline or in my case on the train company, what actually belongs to which package that you're purchasing. One thing I also did on my last train trip is compression socks
Hmm.
because, especially with airplanes, even more because of the change in pressures, you're very prone to getting blood clots. And my dear friends with uteruses, if you're on the pill, you're even more likely
Even
to get
worse.
blood clots as well.
Hmm.
So wear your compression socks, make sure to get up and walk around um, every couple of hours, or actually, it's supposed to be like every 30 minutes, but we understand that that's not very realistic because
Hmm.
we're people pleasers. And I'd feel very, very uncomfortable just annoying everyone with my presence, constantly walking through the fucking plane. Because imagine if everyone did that.
If everyone was doing that.
But if
Yeah.
you're brave enough to do it, go for it.
I'm
Um,
gonna hijack this bullet point just really quick.
yeah,
I always, especially on long flights where I know I'm gonna get up, I book an aisle seat so that I don't have to stress
yeah,
about climbing over two people from a window seat or even one person from a middle seat to get to the aisle. So I always book an aisle seat just to kind of ease that anxiety a little bit. And like, yes, will I still be in people's way, like going up and down the aisle? Yes, but now I can get up and go into the aisle whenever I want, or just stand up and just stretch my legs whenever I want. And I'm not like having to wake somebody up to do that.
yeah. And if you're prone to some other types of like injuries or stiffness, make sure to stretch your back, your neck, your arms, everything. Maybe we should do a visual episode where we get someone to teach us yoga poses
Yeah, get like a yogi on here.
that you can do
Yeah.
on the plane or train or sitting down or whatever. Yeah, also talking about comfort, neck pillow. I love my neck pillow.
I don't like them.
Oh yeah, no, that I'm gonna tell you now. That's because it's the wrong kind of neck pillow. The one
Ah, okay.
the one you've seen everywhere is the one that goes around your neck.
I hate
I
them.
hate those. Those are shit. What am I gonna do with that?
I
I
feel
have
like I'm being choked and like there's a time and place for that, and it's not on an airplane.
True. I have an inflatable one, and it is the neck part kind of is flat because it goes behind your head, and then the
Oh, so you're
sides
not like this.
come
This is how
down.
I feel
Yeah,
with them, like a
and then
whole
the
hunched up.
sides come out beside, like on the both sides of your face. You'll have the like cushiony parts, kind of, so that you can move your head like just a little bit from side to side and rest on a pillow there. So
I
you're
need
not
to do
getting
the same.
strangled and you don't have to move your head to like a 90-degree angle to even make use of the neck pillow, because that's my issue with neck pillows.
Yeah, you gotta go like
And it's like
this.
always like too far.
Yeah,
So
I always, like I said, I always feel very like suffocated. Like I could just feel them around my neck and like I don't like it. I've seen one. It looks almost like a, I don't even know how to describe it. It looks like a thin, like you know how like if it's cold out, you have like a thing that you pull up over your face almost. It looks
oh
like
yeah,
that,
like
and
a
it like
buff
tucks
bar.
under your neck, and people just like sleep like this on them and say, I don't even remember what it's called, but people say they're super comfortable, and it looks like it's not like all puffy like an actual neck pillow.
Yeah, that's
Anyway,
also what I like about the blow up one. It's not super puffy, it's just
yeah,
the
yeah.
right amount of support. What is also very important is what you're going to wear on that long ass flight. Um, because comfort is of course key. Like you want to wear trousers that don't, because that's one of the problems I mostly have, is trousers that when I stand up, perfect fit. I sit down and they dig into my
Hmm.
bladder, and that means I
Hmm.
have to pee more often. That means I'm uncomfortable. That even can restrict like bowel movement and stuff, which is not good. So make sure you wear comfortable trousers. And the problem also is I love, as you can see, Carly, I'm currently wearing dungarees or
I see
overalls or
that.
whatever you call them. Love them. Not good for travel because imagine you're in a train or plane bathroom
The
trying to
bathroom.
pee and like your trousers are like hanging down everywhere. No.
Ugh.
So yeah, something comfortable like sweatpants, yoga pants, whatever.
I always
Any
look homeless on flights because I don't give a shit. I literally dress in like sweatpants and a hoodie and I don't care. I don't care who sees me. I don't care.
Yep. Exactly.
Don't
And
care.
layers because sometimes planes, for some reason, super cold.
So cold.
Yep.
So cold. All right. So now that you're all comfy in your seat, Now it's like, okay, how am I going to pass this time? How long is this
It's
like
a lot of
it's a long time. And we'll talk about sleep later. You're not going to sleep the whole time. You're probably not going to sleep a lot of the time at all. And if you do, you're not going to sleep well. So we need to find ways to entertain ourselves to help pass the time. So ideally, if you're with a buddy or with a travel partner, you have someone at least to talk to, but sometimes you don't. Like those
talk.
the one flight I did have a friend with me, the other one to Nairobi, I did not. I was completely on my own. So most planes, especially for these like long haul flights, these bigger airplanes that do these longer trips are going to be equipped with pretty good entertainment. They're going to have a screen in the back of your seat. It'll have films, TV shows, music, games, podcasts sometimes. So that's a whole kind of library of entertainment kind of right at your fingertips. Um, if you prefer to watch your own shows, you can do so with your laptop, your iPad, whatever. Just make sure you download them on like Netflix or whatever before, because even though these planes say they have Wi-Fi, sometimes you have to pay for it. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes it's reliable. Sometimes it's not. So like,
Mhm.
don't assume that you're going to have Wi-Fi because you may, or even if you pay for it, it may not be that good. Books and ebooks are always a good option. I usually don't risk it. I am very, very prone to motion sickness. If I read in a car, I will get motion sick on like a bus or like a long car ride. I cannot read. So I don't risk it on airplanes because I don't want to find out the hard way that I also get motion sick there. Gaming console, like a Nintendo Switch,
Switch.
DS. Do people use DSs anymore?
I
Might
don't
be
know.
aging myself. I haven't seen some, but like a Nintendo, so like a little handheld console, um, card or travel games. Like I said, if you're traveling with somebody else. Um, and these flights, these long haul flights usually do have outlets in them to charge. Usually they're up, like if the screen is on the back of your seat, they're up like in the entertainment console area. Sometimes they don't work though.
Mhm.
Sometimes you'll get one, so you'll have it there. Will it work? This too kind of depends on the airline. Like I'm not gonna shame anybody, but like certain airlines that are known for being a little better, like you can kind of trust it more. But just in case, always a good idea to make sure all your devices are fully charged. I always act when I'm in an airport on a flight like I'm not going to be able to charge my phone for 24 hours, even though I
Yeah.
probably am. Um, and then have power banks. You cannot check currently. You cannot check a bag with power banks in them. You have to have them on your carry-on. And the reason for that is if they catch on fire, it's in the cabin and somebody sees it and it gets put out instead of it being in the belly of the plane. Like I remember when we were in Vietnam, our group had an internal flight in Vietnam from one place to the other, and a bunch of people got held up at security because when they checked their bags, they took their bags, and then when they scanned them, they saw power banks. So they had to send agents to the gate to come get like 5 or 6 people,
Ooh.
bring them back out. They had to go out, unpack their checked bag, get all the power banks out of it, put it in their carry-ons, go through security again, and then come back to the gate to get on the flight.
Mm.
So check your airline's policy. Usually you can have some kind of power banks with you, but you're gonna have to put them in your carry-on luggage. So just check your airline's policy before packing all that.
So, one thing you also want to be doing a lot, or at least I do a lot when I'm bored, is snack. So, let's talk about food and drink. Depending on the length of the flight, there'll be like around 2 meals that's included because, like Carl already said, it's mostly the fancy airlines that do these long haul flights. You're not going to find Ryanair. Yeah, because
Ryanair could never.
no, no, you wouldn't want it if it could.
You probably wouldn't. See, Ryanair's not gonna sponsor us.
No, I'm
That's all
sorry.
right. We didn't want them anyway. We don't want their
And like it depends on the timing of the flight, but typically you'll have one like closer to takeoff and one closer to landing, and then nothing really in the middle. But usually you won't know the timing of these things until they happen. Like you can ask them when you board, but there's no information if you want them beforehand on the website or anything.
Mm.
So yeah, you may want to bring your own stuff, but more on that in a second. The food will differ depending on the class that you booked. And also, when you book your ticket, usually you can tick boxes and tell them your dietary needs. And yeah, um, the food may be shit. Especially, I've seen some things where it's like, oh, you're gluten-free vegan. Well, here's a tomato, or like
Yeah.
here's an apple.
Here's a salad.
Enjoy. Like,
Yeah.
I'm hungry.
The
Be
girl next to
prepared
me
for that.
on the way to Nairobi so I was in the aisle, the middle seat between us was empty. She was in the window. So we were just she was like young, around my age. We were just chatting a little bit. She, I guess, beforehand had ordered like the low sodium option or something. And she literally had like a thing of white rice and like a banana.
Yeah.
And she was like,
Mhm.
what?
Yeah,
What
that's
is
fine.
this?
Mhm.
Yeah.
So just to be safe, and I'm always the person, I will bring all of my own food anyway,
Mhm.
because I'm a picky eater. I don't trust any airline to know anything half decent to make. Um, so yeah. And as for food, many times I've argued with many of my friends, wait, can you bring food on an air? Yes, you can bring food through airport security.
Yes.
It- You can't bring
Yes.
anything liquid. You probably can't bring a pudding or a jar of marmalade. But if you just make sandwiches
Or maple
or
syrup
other
or
stuff like
sugar.
that,
Refer to a previous episode to know what I'm talking about.
yeah, be careful of those sugar sniffing dogs at
Damn
the airport.
sugar.
Don't let them get you.
Don't smuggle sugar out of the country, ladies and gentlemen.
Only bring savory snacks. Of course, we're joking.
We're
Um,
joking. We're joking.
bring anything you like. Usually a good mix is like considering like how much you'll have during that time anyway if you're awake, and you can always eat less. If you're hungry, then you'll have to order more food,
What
or pay like
is
€5 for a Kit Kat, and that'll be depressing. So just bring the Kit Kat.
what is the weirdest thing you've ever seen someone eat on a plane or a train? Because I've
Um,
got a doozy.
oh yeah, go for it. Because I don't think I.
Fried chicken
Oh God.
that they had brought from home. It wasn't even like, oh, there was like a KFC in the airport. No, this bitch pulls out a gigantic gallon size like Ziploc bag, pulls out a like chunk of fried chicken and is just eating. And I'm like, how long has that been like
Mhm.
not in a refrigerator or off of heat? Like, how long has
Goodness,
that been just like sitting there? I'm like, you're gonna give yourself like food poisoning.
goodness
I just
gracious.
found it very strange. And this was like
Yeah.
I was flying from Los Angeles to Baltimore, so it was like a 4 or 5 hour flight. And this was like 3 or 4 hours into the flight. And I'm like, how
Oh
long has this
God.
chicken?
You
That's
gotta
what I'm
you get the
saying.
good thing.
How long has this chicken been sitting like not at a proper temperature, hot or cold? Like, how long is this
Yeah.
chicken? It grossed me out.
So take it
Don't
from
do that.
Carly. Bring food that keeps well.
Yeah, don't bring
So
fried
like a
chicken.
peanut butter jelly sandwich keeps
Yeah, there
very
you go.
well. Very
Granola
well.
bars.
Although, like peanut butter, there's this thing recently where sometimes you shouldn't eat peanuts on an airplane because there's so many people with like deadly peanut
Allergies.
allergies now. Just don't take a flight that's like starting or landing in the US. Because apparently you have some sort of gene in your gene pool over there that makes it a lot more likely. You have the highest numbers of peanut allergy compared to like all other countries.
I'm so glad I
It's
don't have that allergy. Peanut butter is
ridiculous.
like one of my favorite
Yeah.
foods.
It's very sucky, and I'm really sorry to all the people that have that allergy. Yeah.
Same.
But yeah, pack big foods, pack some little snacks, like little packets of crisps or something. So you have something. It's a long ass flight. You don't want to be unhappy. It's gonna be exhausting anyway, so just be aware of that. Usually certain or most non-alcoholic drinks will be free, so like water, juice, tea, coffee, or maybe some sodas. But you can also bring your own as long as you purchase it at the airport after security check. Or you can, like, I usually, again, don't do long haul flights, but I usually just bring an empty water bottle and fill it up on the other side of the security check. And of course, be cautious if you're consuming alcohol. Yeah, you don't want to be the reason that the long haul flight turns into a medium haul flight because they have to kick your ass out somewhere in the middle.
Mm-hmm. Or if you get sick, if you drink so much that you're
Oh,
throwing up, and now guess what? Throwing
yep.
up sucks anyway. Now throw up in an airplane bathroom where
Mhm.
people can hear you and then have to go in there after you and you're doing like the walk of shame. Like don't be that person.
Yep. Also, airplane bathrooms, so tiny. You
Oh
can't do
God, they're
the
so
dignified thing of like crouching down in front. Like, first of all, you don't want to crouch down on the because the
no,
bathrooms
but
are
even
disgusting, but you
even if you
can't
could,
properly do that.
God, what do you stand over the oh no, I
You have to
never
do
thought
some
about
like
that.
weird ass yoga to do that. Ew.
Yeah, you're like standing over the bowl, like hoping it goes in. I know. I can't. Okay. Oh,
So
all right.
Carly, tell us about sleep.
Right. So if you somehow are able, I will be honest, sleeping on a plane, unless this is not for my first class people, this is not for you. You can turn off the episode now. I don't want to talk to you anymore. For my premium, even my premium economy and my economy people, this is for you because again, I have never had the pleasure of flying first class. Emirates.
Please sponsor us.
Emirates, if you have me come on, I'll do a whole episode of how awesome you don't, not that you need it, but I'll do it. Anyway, sleeping in economy premium is tough. It just is. You're not comfortable. Your seat only reclines so much. And then there's the whole debate about whether it's okay to recline your seat or not. I'm not even going to open up that can of worms. The people in front of you could be reclining, which is uncomfortable for you. And then you recline and it's uncomfortable for everybody else. So,
And I have one dumb question. Why
oh,
don't they make
please.
airplane seats the way they make train seats? Because train seats can recline, but they recline in the way that the pad below your butt moves forward.
Because there's no room for your butt to move forward. You have no leg room.
Yeah, that's your
That's
problem.
why. Well, I know, but
So, like
that's why. Yeah.
that's how the train seats recline. So like it's your problem now.
Right. Yeah. No, airplane, it's like back into the lap.
Yeah,
Flight I was on recently, when a seat is reclined, you can't use your tray table.
yeah. Mhm.
So usually I don't care, but like during meal times, what a flight attendant should do is tell everybody, like, lift your
Yeah.
seat up while we eat. This girl in front of me wouldn't, so I literally had to like tell the flight attendant, like, hey, can you have her like and then he said to her, oh, the lady behind you wants you to move your seat up. I'm like, no, bitch. Like I got so mad.
Mhm.
She
I
did
could have
it.
said that.
Yeah, she did it. I know. I was like, I could have done that. Like, but like, thanks for being discreet. Brussels air. Um, so getting to sleep comfortably is very challenging. I've always had a lot of trouble sleeping on planes. The more longer haul flights I've done, the better at it I've become, especially at the end of the trip. Usually at the end of the trip, I'm so exhausted that I can like manage to get like a couple of hours here and there. That usually the way there, it's not happening. Um, so what I do is to combat jet lag, which this too, if you're on a long haul flight, you're going to some far off destination that is very many time zones away from what you're accustomed to, presumably. So what I always do is I always try as soon as the wheels are up on that plane, as soon as I'm in the air, I shift my mindset to the time zone that I'm going to. So even if it's 12 o'clock in the afternoon in New York where I've just taken off, now it's 8 o'clock at night or 6 o'clock at night in Kenya in my mind. So what I try to do is I try to, if I can, easier said than done, adjust my sleep schedule based on that. I try to just pretend that I like set my phone ahead and like look like that's what time it is now. Um, it also, if you are able to do it successfully, helps to lessen your jet lag and like the adjustment time once you get somewhere because you've already been in that mindset for 12, 14 hours. Um, some people use over the counter medications like melatonin to assist with sleep. Consult your doctor before you do that. I'm not a doctor. It can have adverse effects. Melatonin actually makes me sick if I take it. So
Hmm.
the
It
couple
just
times
makes
I've
me
ever,
sleep like shit. So like I had an
yeah,
episode this January where my doctor was like, "Oh yeah, you should take some melatonin." I'm like, haha.
the couple times I've ever taken it, I've gotten like extremely nauseous, and I'm just like, no, not take.
Mm,
I don't know why, because but whatever. I
okay.
typically, because again, I am prone to motion sickness. I have always taken Dramamine on a plane on a long flight. I can go a couple hours, but on like long haul flights, I always take Dramamine just in case. I've never experimented and I don't want to because I don't want to be 12
Yeah.
hours into a 15-hour flight and discover that, oh yeah, you get motion sick on planes too.
Mm-hmm.
So Dramamine, some Dramamine will naturally have like a make you drowsy side effect to it. Again, consult your doctor before you do that. But yeah, with sleep, it's kind of just, you kind of just have to, not to sound pessimistic, you kind of just have to accept that like it's going to be what it's going to be. I'm going to try to make myself comfortable. I'm going to try to sleep. You may or you may not.
Yeah, it may just happen like an hour at a time because I was thinking, like, oh yeah, I can sleep well on planes. Yeah, because like when I sleep well on planes, I mean I take the early as morning flight to or from London. So that's a 1 hour flight. And like I've actually slept through the entire thing before, only
Really?
woken up at like landing. But yeah, still it's like 1 hour. That's like nothing in a long haul flight.
Something I will add to that is not on our notes, but it's important is the first day or so that you're at your new destination, don't plan anything
Yeah.
like super important
Nope.
because you may be like, I always just plan, I call it like an exploring day, my first day anywhere. So then there's no pressure to be doing things. You don't have like set scheduled things that you've reserved or whatever. Like, allow that first day or two, depending on where you are and how far away it is, to just kind of be like adjusting and just kind of casually exploring so that you're not losing out on like things that you really want to do because you're fucking exhausted.
Yeah. Or plan the most chill things that you have on your agenda.
Exactly.
If
Yeah,
going
go
to
to the
spa is
beach.
on your agenda, do that. And yeah, I think that perfectly concludes all our tips that we have how to survive a long haul flight. If you have any more, feel free to hit us up. If you want to sponsor us to experience first class long haul flights, um, the GoFundMe link is definitely not, it doesn't
We don't
exist.
even have one. Yeah, let's see.
If you
Who
work
could
for,
sponsor us?
yeah, if you work for an airline, feel free to reach out.
Emirates. Let's see. What are the best first class? Emirates, Qatar,
Yeah.
Singapore. Those are all like the best first class. I would take any first class, honestly.
No, you wouldn't because, like, for example, I've flown Asian, or I'm not sure how it's pronounced,
Yeah, the
Asian,
Greek
like the
one.
Greek one. It's nice, but the first class is literally just divided by the second class with a curtain. They're the same
Oh yeah,
seat.
no. Emirates, you get like your own little pod
Yeah, yeah,
and like
no,
your own
you
little
need
bed and like a
that kind of
huge
first
screen.
class.
Yeah, Emirates first class is like Emirates and
Mhm.
Qatar Airways. I've flown on Qatar Airways, but it was an economy. Even Qatar Airways was nice though. Even economy, it was cramped, but like economy was nice. Never flown Emirates yet. Have not flown Singapore yet. But those are like the three that I always hear about that have like the best
Mm,
first class, best business class. And they're like $20,000 a ticket. And I'm not like, it's crazy.
mm,
And that's why I see that and I'm like, yeah, that's not gonna happen.
never mind.
But a lot of you've been asking how you can donate to me. So I'm gonna put the link in the description. No, I'm not. I'm
Yeah,
not
with
that
the
person.
no,
That's
no,
annoying. We don't do that here.
no. And with those shenanigans, we bid you farewell, dear listener.
That's all for this episode. If you'd like more Away She Goes in your life, make sure to stop by girlswhotravel.org/podcast. That's where you can fill out a form if you're interested in being a guest on the show. You can also write to us at awayshegosgwt@gmail.com or leave us a message on our Google voicemail from any phone or computer at 1-563-503-6323. To follow our adventures, you can follow me on Instagram. I'm at Carli Sees the World. Carli is spelled Carli.
You can also follow me at Sophia AEZ, Sophia with a PH. Away She Goes is part of Girls Who Travel, a community dedicated to radically redefining travel to be inclusive, sustainable, and empowering. You can learn more about GWT, find travel tips and support, shop travel themed items made by GWT members, and join our Facebook group with nearly 100,000 women all around the world at girlswhotravel.org. We can't wait to connect and explore with you. Away she goes.